Should you buy or build a home in Raleigh, North Carolina? What's up, family? It's Roney Polynice. If you're new to me in this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina. So make sure to hit the bell and subscribe so you don't miss out. But you also must not forget, I am a licensed realtor, so if you need any sort of help with your relocation needs, just reach out. Building your dream home from scratch can be an incredibly rewarding experience. From customizing every detail to creating a space that reflects your personality. There's just nothing quite like building a home tailored to your preferences. On the other hand, buying a house in Raleigh offers its own set of benefits. You can explore the large amount of available properties and essentially find one that suits your needs and your budget. You know, it's quite often that I get asked this question, should I buy or should I just build? And quite frankly, I am the least valuable person to ask that question of because I can't decide your lifestyle or your household. So for that reason, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the pros and cons of building or buying. So that way, that can help you decide on what's best for you. Now, while cost is one of the biggest determining factors in many people's lives today, you can't forget you have other factors like location, current housing market, time commitment, customization option, and long-term investment potential. Now at this point you may be wondering one or two things. Where is the current housing market or specific locations? This is what I'm going to share with you. This is your time and your opportunity to pause the video and write down the number of email you see on the screen and reach out with whatever question that you have. As we all know, cost is important, so of course you're going to experience, at least for the most part, less expensive resale than new construction. Then of course things will be done for you, and what I mean by that, you're gonna probably have appliances, the windows covered, the blinds, landscaping, as I've already mentioned, will probably be done for you, which gives you the opportunity to move in early if you have to. And I can only speak for in the Raleigh market, but here you'll have, at least with the resales, you'll have larger lots. Newer construction, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but they are building them on quite, they're not as large as the older ones, so definitely something to keep in mind, but we'll talk about that later. And I think this is a good opportunity that many people forget and just don't realize that some people bought newer homes maybe 2-3 years ago, and I mean, would you say those are still relatively new homes? Because I would, at least. And so those homes will probably come onto the market, and that gives you an opportunity to snag up a fairly newer home without having to go the entire new construction route, and that may even come with some extra upgrades that the previous owner just doesn't want to take with them. But if you're an individual that says, no, I don't need anybody's old property, I don't want resale, I want new construction in Raleigh, I'm just going to let you know now, there's a huge caveat to that because there isn't that much land in Raleigh, so you're going to be paying an extreme premium, or you're probably going to be knocking something down to rebuild on top of that land. Enough about the pros. Now let's talk about the stuff that really matters, which is the cons. To kick things off, the nice resale homes probably won't be on the market for long, and in fact, to add a little more sauce or juice to it, they're probably going to have a deadline to it, which is going to really create an urgency, is going to really create a large amount of demand and probably competition. And I will say, as long as inventory stays where it is, which is extremely low, I could see this kind of occurring and happening on a regular basis. Now, is it as bad? No, but of course, if there isn't many options, you're going to have to compete at least once or twice. And you can't forget, if you're on the resale, you got to deal with someone's crazy paint colors, or they probably have an old-fashioned taste, so they still have wallpaper, which is then going to require you to do renovations, repairs, remove that old kitchen, put new granite countertops. Let's just hope that you don't have to do any repairs to the roof, HVAC, cooling system, because if that is the case, you may actually come across a seller who just doesn't want to help you, and they'll allow you to figure it out all yourself, because that's happened before, I will say. Now at that point, you really got to ask yourself one solid question. Are you in the mood, or are you even willing to make those repairs or upgrades to the home? Because if you're not, then maybe new construction might be the route you take, simply because you don't really have to make repairs. But if you're okay with it and you have no problem with looking at fixer-uppers, because again, it's not going to cost you a lot of money up front. And I previously spoke on this one already, but I want to stress it enough. Again, low inventory means you're not going to have a lot of options, so it may take a little bit longer when you're going the resale route, which I think is a big con, especially if you have a time crunch, which could ultimately allow you to be a little stressful. And I get it, don't get me wrong. This is why you have me here, to relieve some of that stress off of you that comes with the buying or selling of a home. Now, you guys know, just as much as I enjoy making these videos, I am a licensed realtor, so that number that is popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market. Now, enough about resale, because if you don't care for city living, you're not making a repair, and you have a timeline that's so far out that you have enough time to do whatever it is that you want, then I will say new construction is the way to go. Well, why is that the case? Well, let's talk about the pros. First and foremost, you're gonna have way less competition than you are in the resale market, especially as prices and interest rate continuously rise or do whatever it is that they want to do. Then of course you can't forget another big pro to it is no one lived in it. It's fresh, it's clean, you have it, it's your liking, it's personalized honestly to your preferences, which I mean, what more can you really ask for at that point? And I know I said if you have a lot of time on your belt, time on your horizon, that, you know, that's definitely a plus to look at the new construction route. But typically many people don't look at that many homes, so you won't have to look or do a lot of window shopping when you're looking at new construction, just because again, you're going to find really the neighborhood, the location, the community that you want to be a part of. And at that point, it's all about customization. And the one part I will say that I love about the new construction process in itself and just what comes with it is the incentives that they spill out sometimes. I mean, I get emails all the time from builders that are just mentioning and kind of stating what they're offering out to the market, because again, they have to get these homes sold one way or another. And so if you guys want any additional information on those lists or those incentives that they are offering, go ahead and reach out to me and let me know that you're interested in new construction, so we can go ahead and find a community, and better yet, let's find the incentive that's going to come with it so you can take advantage of that and possibly get your closing costs paid for. Maybe even buy down some of the rate, or even pick up that builder warranty that comes with it sometimes. If you stay to this point, I have a pro tip for you, because many people don't do this. I'm going to let you guys in on something. Even though you're dealing with the new construction, which hasn't been touched, it's brand spanking new, you don't want to be caught in the wildfire of somebody else's work and cutting corners. So I will always say, get an inspection and just make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be before drywall goes up, and better yet, before you close on the property. Because if you're trying to go backwards and say, hey, this isn't the way it is supposed to be, good luck. Speaking of cons of new construction, first I will say, of course, as we all know, price is a very important thing for many of us. And so I will say new construction is going to be more expensive. And I want to add to that, if your timeline is really tight and you don't have that much wiggle room to maybe give or take 6 months to a year, then you definitely don't want to look at new construction, because especially if you're looking from the ground to build from the ground up, you got to give the builder some time to do their thing. Unless if you just want to go and get one of their spec homes. But the problem that comes with that, the big con that comes with it, is there is no sort of customization, personalization that you can do to it at that point. So you may have no choice but to look at resale. And then a lot of the new construction that's going on in this area, you're going to be in areas like Clayton, Fuquay, Gardner, Sanford, Franklinton, Roseville, Youngsville. I mean, anything outside of that Raleigh 540 area, that's typically ideally where you're going to be if you're looking at new construction. Oh, and I can't forget smaller lots, as I mentioned earlier, and of course the lack of landscaping. You're not going to really have trees surrounding you, so if you're the woodsy type of person, or you just kind of want that scenery of what's going on in nature, yeah, not in new construction. Now that you've heard everything from the pros and cons of resale and new construction, I'm curious to know, which route are you going to take? Are you okay with just buying resale and just kind of going about it that route, or do you have to buy new construction because you want to build from the ground up? Let me know in the comments below. And just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, I am a licensed realtor, so that you do see that number that is popping up right there. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.